What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Bricks and Toys. In today's episode, we tackle if we can make a whole house from half of a house. And what house am I talking about? Obviously, the Lilo and Stitch house that I have right here in front of you. So today's goal is going to be on whether or not we can make a proper enclosed house from the movie Lilo and Stitch. And we are going to attempt that with not one, but two of these sets. Now, before the experts watching this video goes into the comment section, I did not pay full retail for these sets. If you guys tuned in a little while back, I mentioned this briefly in another video. I got both of these sets on sale for about $60 a piece from their original $90 a piece price tag at my local Sam's Club. So I only paid about $120 for both of these sets. I am going to be using a guide to loosely follow along with that does say you only need one kit and about 300 and some change pieces. But it did say in the comment section of that guy's rebrickable model that you can easily create the model with some extra pieces if you have a secondary kit. And the fact of the matter of buying the separate 300 or so pieces, is it worth it or not to buy the pieces or to have an extra set that I got on clearance, is neither here or there. One thing I do know about this project is there is some special red dome piece or pieces at the top of the tower on the house that you can only get with the kit. If you get it outside of the kit, it's considered a expensive piece. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm saying it's going to cost some money. So by going out and already having both kits, it sets us up to being able to use the guide and fill in for those missing rare pieces that the guide doesn't include because of cost savings. So there is benefits and there is takeaways. Takeaways is maybe it's a little bit more expensive to do it with two, but at least you do have those extra pieces. Now, there is a way to recoup some of the cost. There is the minifigures of Stitch, Lilo, Scrump, David, Nani, and Mr. Bubbles that you could sell on eBay or Bricklink as a set or individually, and that'll help recoup some cost. I may or may not be doing that just to help myself along with this project. So let's check out one of these sets as an individual set so you guys can get a little information about the set before we go and we start corrupting things and making our own beast out of it. So to my knowledge, this set was released March 1st of this year, 2025. Set number 43268, the Lilo and Stitch Beach House with 834 pieces. And looking at the box, it's clearly a playstyle box because we have action going on. We got bright, lovely colors to get kids roped into marketing. We got Stitch up here in the corner with a blaster. He's in the police cruiser or whatever they called it in the movie. We got David over here throwing some fire. We got Nani with the surfboard. Of course, we got Lilo. And then we got Scrump. And then, of course, Mr. Bubbles is coming in and checking on it. And then we do have the little bit of the Stitch marketing right down here at the bottom. Of course, on the side of the box, we got the country of origin and our do not eat it. Then on this side of the box, we got the immediate minifigures pictured down there. And then up here at the top, we have all the minifigures. Down at the bottom, barcode, Lego app, Lego.com, Legal Eagles, Disney licensing, recycling info, all of that. And then on the back of the box, we could see Lilo and Stitch reading The Ugly Duckling. Hey, the Lego set didn't leave that out, but the live action movie did. That's kind of funny. And then we do have the immediate family with David just chilling right there. And then looks like we got Nani with a pan, probably recreating that scene where she captured her out of the dryer in the original version, not the Disney Plus edited version. And then it just looks like we have a bunch of Easter eggs throughout the house that, you know, the more we look at, the more that we see. Like the Me Alone poster on the fridge, that's really funny. Set looks to be a lot of fun. And I want to make sure by doing this project that I don't lose sight of the fun. This is more of a enjoyable passion type project to do because with marrying my wife, she came in as the person that brought the Disney movie Lilo and Stitch into the family. I believe every family has that Disney movie that is like the core of their family. And for ours, that's Lilo and Stitch. That is the movie that we can put on, that our whole family, the immediate four of us, we all really like it. And when we saw the live action remake, yeah, they did some things to it, but we still felt like it was a relatively decent movie when you're not being too hard on it. It's just, this is a really fun movie. My family loves it. My wife definitely loves it, and I can really see why. A really quick show and tell here I just wanted to share with you guys about Lilo and Stitch is they did make a record featuring the Hawaiian roller coaster song, and I just wanted to show you guys this record really quick, hella random here in the video. It just looks to be a normal small single style record, but what makes this so cool is it is the actual shape of the live action Stitch. Isn't that just adorable? Yeah, it's not the animated one, but it's the live action, and I still think the live action Stitch looks pretty cute. And it's really cool to think that this thing is doing the hula and it can go in circles while it plays the Hawaiian roller coaster ride song that we love from the movie. Isn't that just cool? Wanted to share that with you guys. Now, back to business about the build. How are we going to go about this build? Well, we're going to open up one of these kits, and we're going to build this kit out to be the original set. And then we're going to take the other one of these kits, and we are going to dump out all of the bags, and we're going to put them in these little bins right here. And these are going to sort out all of our pieces, small, colors, types, things like that. I only have, I think, about 10 of these total to use, and which is about 30 different compartments. And then we'll take a quick break right there. We'll briefly review the house, the minifigures as it stands, and then we'll go to the next segment of video. So guys, I got some sorting, I got some building. And for you guys, the first part of this review video is right now, so check it out. Okay, so we got the house built as instructions intended, and we got our pieces sorted right over here. Let's go ahead, let's talk about the house. Let's not spend too much time because, well, this is still far from over. Let's just start off with taking a look at our minifigures. Over here with the briefcase, we have our Mr. Bubbles minifigure featuring some really good detail. Over here with the fire torches, we have David, again, with some really good printed detail. In between them is Scrump and Lilo. Again, really good detail on these minifigures. Most of them, besides Mr. Bubbles, I believe, feature a secondary face, and that is mostly due in part that Mr. Bubbles does not have a hairpiece to cover up his secondary face. And lastly, we have Nani right next to Lilo. Again, really good printed torso and pieces and all of that. And then we go over to Stitch, and Stitch is kind of hiding behind his accessories, his weapon, and whatever that brown container is, and looking really good. We do have Stitch's police cruiser built, and that's what he is sitting in. There is a secondary spot in the police cruiser for Lilo to ride along with, I'm guessing, if you want to play that way. Looking at the front of the house, it is done relatively nice. It's got really good detail, the usual use of floral elements to break up the colors. I like the reddish and the orangish yellowish color for the roof. We do have windows again with the floor elements and little window panes on each side of the window, making it look nice. We do have a front door featuring a doggy door, which is, iconic to the movie, done really nice. And I like the patio that goes around the house and seals the deal. It just looks really good with its exterior look with all the floral and the usage of bricks on the house. Coming over here to the side, we do have two surfboards with sticker elements using different colors alongside of a tree. Coming over here to the back of the set, we do have Lilo's bedroom featuring some stickers on the wall and a lamp. And then we go over here, and I believe in this sticker element labeled box of the Aloha pineapple is Stitch's bed. And then we do have a nightstand right there. More stickers with a picture of everybody. And then I believe that this is Nani's bedroom, again with another sticker element making a image on the wall. Behind that big spaceship type dome is the Book of the Ugly Duckling, featuring two more sticker elements inside and outside. And then coming down here to the first floor, we have the living room with the record and the forks of the enemies, or whatever it's called. We all know it's freaking hilarious. And then we go down here to the kitchen and the washroom. We can see we have the iconic dryer placed back instead of the pizza box in the edited version on Disney Plus, which is nice. We also have cooking that is burnt in the stove, and of course on the refrigerator the Me Alone sticker, which is a funny Easter egg to the movie. And that is the house in a nutshell. Now, before we get into the pieces, what am I worried about going forward? Well, to recreate this needs to be taken apart, smoothed out, and a way to make this roof fit whole and flush. That is going to be one thing to note. Again, this right here to make this look whole and flush. This is whole, this is not. But again, we do have an extra one of these pieces because we bought the extra kit. And the other bits and parts are basically the roof that's going to have to go in and around all of this. And again, where it's not even and it kind of sticks out. With the house that we just did for Privet Drive, it is about 6 studs on each side. And we can count here that we have about 8 studs. So we're going to have to figure out if we're going to add to it or take away from it. Judging from how flat this is right here, this is going to be a little bit wider than the Privet Drive house because we kind of have to, or we're re-engineering the entire set. So let's take a look at our parts that we're going to use. It's all sorted out. Don't really know where any of this is going to go yet. We do have a bag of minifigure and accessories. That's all of our parts. We've got tiles, plates, specialty bricks, snot bricks. There's that special dome piece right here. That's going to come in big use. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. So what am I going to do with all this? I'm going to follow a guide to make a back half of the set. And then I'm going to see about making that back half of the set with that guide work better and more wholesome to this set. So we're basically going to take Lego's done version, open back part of the set, then take someone's half bake other back part of the set, and we're going to make a full bake whole set out of all of it. I hope all of that makes sense. Up next, we're going to be taking a look at the half-baked or whatever it's going to come out back part of the set, and then we're going to work on fusing the two together, so check that out. Okay, everybody, so I want to start this segment of video off by going over the original model with, well, not the original model, but the original Bricklink or Brick Artisan model, and go from there. So there's some things that on the surface, you look at this model and you think this model looks absolutely great. And then you try to build it. So let's take a look at this right here. We're going to focus a lot of our details on the back half. And there's going to be something that is going to stick out like a sore thumb. And that is, if you look right where my mouse pointer is, that is your secondary half. Okay? So you got all this distance of the actual house, but then you only have maybe, 3 studs in width to make the second half, okay? So that's going to be one thing that we're going to notice going through these pictures. The next thing we're going to notice is he does want you to order 305 parts separately. In the comment section down below, it says this could be easily done with the secondary model instead of buying the parts. But he does not specify whether those parts in the secondary model will be the same parts as that. I'm going to tell you guys, spoiler alert, they're not. So let's continue to look at these photos and just get a sense of what I was facing, what I was up against, and how it actually came out. So the next thing we're going to notice is on the back half of the house, we got these nice windows. On this one, they're both matching because you order the 305 parts. So that is a thing. You do notice how you can kind of see the top of this spherical dome. You know, you can see it sticking out. You can see how the whole top of the roof is just one solid plate stuck to the roof. And, you know, it doesn't look too bad, but, you know, it doesn't hold value. It gets rough in person. And then when you look at the actual model, it just features the stairs, a little bit of a kitchenette area, and then more of the little kitchen area. This area kind of matches into the kitchen area, where this it goes into the living room, doesn't quite match. Then there's absolutely nothing on the upstairs at all. And then if we continue looking at our photos, we can see we build an additional piece for this, additional pieces to mend the roof in the middle. So this is separate, this is separate, this is separate, and this is separate. We can see how shallow this base is actually, and we can see that those separate pieces clip on here, here, and on the back of that tower. Just one last reference here. Here you can see those pieces are clipping on right in between these two joints, and they are going right into here to fill in this back. So you fill in those 3 spots, and then you make the back, and then it fits. But I'm going to tell you guys, it's not all happiness when you follow all of these steps. The last thing I want to go over is I want to show you guys the actual Lilo and Stitch house. So this is the best picture I could find of the house itself. We can see the red roof. We can see the red roof above the window. We can see the doors. Yeah, Lego's version is definitely lacking. It's not going to be perfect. It is a kid's model, not an 18 and older model. So we can't expect the perfect porch, foliage, roofage, all of that. So we're not even going to try. We can't see how the spherical little space dome is a little bit taller here. And we can see how this is kind of like higher and more off to the side and in its own little square. Shapes, guys. That's what I'm just trying to get at. It's a general shape and layout. And when you go back to the original house and you take a look, you can kind of see this is pretty much the right size-ish, but when we go back to the model, this don't make it look right. So buying two of these kits right here, I would say this front half was 100% useful. Like, to do this model the way that I did it, 100% useful. This mock is about 50% fail. You think because pieces are pieces, you can make it work, but there's a lot of half-assery in this model you get for $5 to make the back half, and when you have it all done, it looks like crap. It's been a few days I've been working on this, thinking about this, and now let me show you what we actually made here. Okay, so here is our house, everybody. And yeah, it got a little different. I almost took all the pieces, crumbled it up, threw it into a box, gave up, said, mock building ain't for me, I'm done, homeboy out. But I went to crumple it all up, throw it back into the box, say I wasted $120, screw it all to hell, and then inspiration hit me, and what you see in front of you is what I've done. So just from the face value, at a quick glance, the set looks exactly how it does originally on the box. But then we start to notice things. One of the first things you're going to notice is our dome up here is one brick taller because I wanted that dome to come up. You're also going to notice stitches on a landing pad behind this main hut of the house. More on that in a minute. I came up with that idea. I like that idea. Traditionally, we got all of our minifigures. Everything's in the same spot. The house does separate in two, but, it takes a little bit of work, but it's pretty easy to do. I wanted to keep the house to where it's two separate houses. So this is where things get interesting. Now, it may not be as wide as the front half. I may still not have the correct proportions. In fact, I know that I don't. Front half is 7, the back half is 6. So there is a 1 stud difference. But I did make the back half of the house wider to make it look more proportionate and to really replicate the way that the sides of this house looks. I would have liked to maybe put an extra window in here, maybe up here at the top, something, make it work, make it look better. I did blend white bricks throughout the set to kind of give it that look of repaired by a village after an alien invasion to capture a rogue alien. Hence, the movie. So one of the things I did, besides extend the width of the house to make all that fit better, is I did add this nice plating up here at the top to widen it up. So I tried my best to make that look as natural as it would. The theme I kept in my head the whole time was a village rebuilt this house after an alien invasion. That is a point I cannot stress enough. Coming over here to the back, we got our full dome, but don't be discouraged. When you open up half of it, the ugly duckling is still in there. And then we can get a sense of our roof. Now, our roof now is a replica of the front, minus a few details like the archway and stuff. That I deleted, and I just put this in there for greebling, and then I greebled it, kind of free-handed it. And then in the back, yeah, our windows are a little bit different, but you know what? This house was repaired by a village after a space alien invasion to capture an alien. Are we getting the theme of what I did here? Imagination, folks. I'm doing my best with lack of creativity. So then we come up over here, and then I added a whole chunk. So I just duplicated this over to that side, made this room larger. And then I put a landing pad right up here for Stitch's police cruiser. I thought that would look really cute, and I think it came out relatively okay. Now, what is on the inside of this set? How do we get the set to split apart? Well, you know what? Let's talk about that, guys. So I did this to where it's only in one concentrated area. So we pull up, okay? We take out our dome. After our dome, we reach in, we pluck out 2 of these little blue pieces. And then with all that removed, there's one last little Easter egg right down here that I got as like a little hidden thing. You pull that out, and then our house splits in two. No hinges or anything special. It just splits. Now, I didn't do anything with the rooms, neither did the other guy, but I am working with the best that I got here. So, as you guys can see, I did MacGyver a lot to make all of this work. You guys can see how I tried to split that roof down the middle to kind of fill in that gap, and how I hid the center here. I also made it to where I didn't take too much away from the original set, just that one added piece in the middle, and then that added piece right here at the top to fill in the roof. Everything is in this house pretty much the way that it was. It looks great and fine, minus the record player that kind of fell loose. Let's put that back so Lilo can listen to her Elvis. There we go, all fixed. I did put the stairs in. They are a mixture of brown and white, just make it work. Same thing with the table, just made it with some random brick, make it work type of thing. And, whatever this is, make it work. So, besides everything making it work, I don't think it looks too bad. I think on its own, the back half of its house has its own value, especially with that stitched landing pad up there. And the front of the house is still pretty much just as the original Lego set wanted it to be without much modification. To put the set back together, it's relatively simple. Just line it up, drop in your one brick, drop in your other brick. Then we take our dome, drop that in, and then we come down and we put our flower pot in. And there we are, we're all locked in. And with our top part of our dome removed, we can see the Ugly Duckling book is still in there, as if it is Stitch's private little headquarters. And then that covers up just like that. Simple, guys. And that is my rendition of the Lilo and Stitch house. I don't know how it got this far. I don't know if it looks good to the general audience. That's for all of you guys out there to decide. I think I did well with what I had to work with. I'm pretty proud of myself. I like the little Stitch landing pad that I put up there, even though it's not canon to the movie. I like how I made use of the bricks I had under the excuse of it was repaired by a village after a space alien invasion for the millionth time. So I'm pretty satisfied. I've had a pretty rough week mentally, and to do a project like this when you're mentally just not feeling life, and for it to come out as good as this, I think it was pretty cool. So let's take one last good look at the back here. I also forgot to mention I did put a little bit of a greebling effect right there to kind of add another little vent pipe for the roof, kind of like what we have over here, but instead of copying this, I just did it my own way. So let's wrap up this video. This set looks pretty cool. So I figured we would hit this wrap up portion of the video with a back shot of the set. This because I'm relatively proud of it. If you guys cannot tell from this portion of the video already, my hair is probably a mess because I didn't fix my hair today. I had no intentions on doing this at all. I started off day 1, build the original front part of the set. Day 2, build the back part of the set for the $5 brick artisan instructions that you purchased. Day 3, we didn't work on it day 3. I walked by my desk, I looked at it, puked. Walked by my desk again, puked in my mouth again. I did not like the brick artisan look in person. On the guide, it looked fine. But there's just, when you build as many Lego sets as I've built, and maybe you guys have too, there's just things that you look at that just says, this was a poor thought. Like a whole chunk of roofing just slammed over the back. It just looked cheap. And then the proportions just didn't line up. Like I said, I would walk by and I'd puke. Today, I woke up and I said, you know what? I'm going to clean my house today. I'm going to play some Zelda. I'm just going to chill out. Maybe teach my kid to ride a bike like I've been doing the last couple weeks. I'm going to do anything but work on that set. I am going to take it and I'm going to dump it all into a Ziploc bag, break it into a little bit of pieces, and I'm going to say, kiss my butt, I'm done with it, because I don't know what the hell to do. Now, for you guys that like to make mocks out there, you're probably wondering, why is he making a big deal about it? I have been going through some stuff mentally with a change in life. I'm not really myself right now. I'm not feeling myself. And I just don't have the energy that the normal person would have for a project of trying to design something like this for themselves. I walked by it for a day and a half with it being done the way that Brick Artisan and Lego combined had it, and just got really distasteful. But when I went to go and put it all away, I was just like, you know what? What if I take it and I do this? What if I take it and I do that? And then what if I try to match this with that? And next thing I know, I wound up with this. The only big thing that I had was like, what do I do with the ugly roof on top? Then I was like, add a landing pad that matches the contour of this research dome or whatever this is to the top to blend in that ugly roof. That way you don't got to get any more pieces. That way you don't got to make this look bigger or anything. You can just make it work with what you have. And you know, it all hit me. I am very, very happy with myself and with getting this done. I was so comfortable just saying, there's going to be no June 30th video. Tough luck. It is what it is. And I was okay with that because I bought 2 sets. I spent $120. I tried my best, but I'm just not all that creative without the instruction manual. Well, guess what, guys? It seems that I actually am. Maybe I shouldn't count myself out after all. So I guess the questions that we have here at the very end of this video, now that we're coming to the close, is it worth doing? And you know what? I don't have an answer. You can buy the 302 pieces and a kit and do what Brick Artisan did. And you know what? On the shelf, it may look fine. It may look perfectly fine. But if you're anal, then you're going to want more than what Brick Artisan offers and those parts. Do not buy 2 kits and the Brick Artisan model thinking it's going to work. That will not work. That I found out by doing this for you guys. So keep that in mind if you want to try this on your own. Your best bet is to buy 2 sets, build the front set, and then mimic everything done in the front into the back. That's the only advice I can truly give you. That's what I did with this model. Very few things from the Brick Artisan model actually rolled over. Everything else was pretty much from the top of my head, and this is what we got. Now, do I feel like I'm sitting on a $100 model from Lego? Yeah, considering I just did the Privet Drive set, and it's smaller than this and more condensed, and that set was about 80 or 90 bucks. I would say, you know what, not too bad. So if you can't get the sets on sale, you can make a full set out of 2. Just know that you better be pretty darn creative if you're going to do it, and don't be going through anything mentally when you're trying to create something, because it's not a good mix, guys. No. It really zaps the confidence when you can't get over the roadblock. So that's all I really have for this video, guys. I'm very happy that I got it done. I'm very happy that I have a video for you guys today, and I'm very happy that I get to share this with you guys. Now, all you guys got to do is drop your comments down below. What do you think about this? I really want to know what you guys think. Like I said, I didn't go 100% with the movie because I didn't have all the parts to get that anal retentive with it. I kind of had to go out and do my own thing, and I think it came out just fine for being that way. So, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button, follow along with everything that we do. As usual, hit the thumbs up, the like button, drop those comments down below, share the video with a friend, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Hopefully, we're shopping at Lego again. We will see. Y'all, have a good one.